What's up and welcome back to Kinda Funny's MCU in Review. Reminder, Kev, we do need to fix that smoke machine
Not
over
for this
there.
movie.
But definitely not for this movie.
You sure?
This film, the cinema, whatever you want to call it. This motion picture. It's definitely an experience. We're talking about Elektra, of course, and I'm sorry about that, but we are. We're all going to do it together because this is in review, and that's what we do here. Each and every week, we get together to rank, review, and recap different movie franchises, and sometimes we do it to prep and get excited for something new coming out. The reason we are doing the Affleck verse in review, which is Daredevil, and then Elektra, is because at some point, Hollywood Reporter said that they think Jennifer Garner might be in Deadpool 3. We realized some of us haven't seen these movies. All of us haven't seen them for a long time. So we might as well have some fun watching some bad movies because sometimes that turns into the best content. Like last week's Daredevil in review that definitely went places that I don't want to talk about.
Great episode.
But you can go back and listen to if that tickles your
When do we
pickle.
do? And I like to play games in review.
Oh, there's two of them.
There's two.
Yeah.
For all we know, there might be more. We haven't backed
Ragu
in
would
in
be
a
off
while.
the fucking charts.
They recast
Let me
them,
tell you.
It's not the same.
Yeah. If you love what we do, please think about getting the Kinda Funny membership. You can get the shows ad-free. You can watch live as we record them, and you get a daily exclusive show that we like to call Greg Way. Greg, what is it about today?
Everybody being nice to Ben
Yes, okay.
because he was on the Games Cast and the audience was great about it.
They were so nice. I was
Roger
scared of the smoke machine.
That's why we
killed
turned it
though.
off. Yeah, that's why we
Yeah.
turned it off. One
now.
stare from my son killed that smoke machine.
That's fair. Powerful stare. Where are you going? Okay.
I do not like that Greg's already getting up
He's
to
already
walk
out.
away.
He's already gone.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Nathan Lamoth, Karen Lindner, Fargo Brady, Alex J. Sandoval, James Hastings, and Casey Andrew. You really are the best of us, and we thank you so very, very much. Today, we are brought to you by the Kinda Funny Pride merch, but we'll tell you all about that later.
Although, if Carl Jacobs is out there listening, Snowbike Mike went on about a 30-minute tirade, really, really wanting some more Feastables, the crispy crunch ones.
God, let's piece it up.
So
Carl's in Australia right now. You see
Yeah,
that?
mate.
Down under.
Yeah, mate.
Oh!
He went a little crazy with it, but I got you. I got you.
I thought it was a little
There's
kung fu
one
fighting, but
problem
okay.
within review, and it's that there's two morons slowing down.
Could you
the
imagine if we could
assholes.
clone ourselves and have 4 idiots over here?
4 assholes.
So many assholes.
I mean,
Tighten
they
up
wouldn't
over
be
there,
ready
guys.
for it. You
I'm
know,
the
we're the
assholes.
I'm tight, everybody. Today we're talking about Elektra, released on January 14th, 2005. Maybe the most unfortunate time in cinematic history. I'm going to say it. Released or directed by Rob Bowman.
Why is that?
Yeah, what? I don't get that
Yeah,
reference. What happened
Well,
on that day?
I'll save it for my thoughts, but maybe I'll just say a little bit of it here. I just feel like this
I thought
is
it was
like
a September
it's
11th
the most
thing.
unfortunate time for movies because I feel like 2004 to 2006 just didn't have a look that they could like hold on to be their
Sure.
own. It's kind of almost this. It's barely that. Like I feel like there's the 2003 and before time where you're like, okay, there's 90s movies. I know what they look like.
Sure.
Early 2000s movies, they have a vibe to them, like that filmy look to them. Then there's this. And then Michael Bay did Transformers and Iron Man happened. And then there was that major shift into like the sheen and like that
I see what
look.
you're saying.
This just is stuck in a time that I'm like, ugh, I don't know about it. Directed by Robert Bowman, prolific director, known mainly for television, who's contributed to series such as Star Trek: The Next Generation and The X-Files, for which he received 4 consecutive Emmy nominations as a producer. He then directed 4 feature films: Airborne, The X-Files, Reign of Fire,
Reign of Fire.
and then Elektra.
Then he stopped. He was done.
This was his
A lot
last
of people,
one.
a lot of people's careers seem to stop right here.
Yeah.
I was like going back and watching an older movie and being, Meredith Grey is fucking Karen Page in this. This movie you're watching, like, oh man, nobody made it out of this alive.
Yeah.
This is a big stopping point for a lot of people.
Music done by Christoph Beck, which very much surprises me because I found the music in this very
and long jacket. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da. No. And last time we made that joke, somebody then pointed out in the comments that's actually cake, and nobody stopped us. I don't know. Is he's going the distance, Beck? He's going the distance.
No, that's
cake also.
Beck is, because I'm a loser, baby.
Sure. You want to know something? Lucy James loves Beck.
Sure.
I mean, sure, really?
End of story.
That's like I Love Tap. Well, I don't know we don't even, he's got one song. I said cake. Nobody here caught it the first time. And then the other time, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think that's us. I think, music
I don't think I understand
will know more about that.
you want her to like help you out with job opportunities eventually. All right. You don't have to carry water for Lucy here.
But
She's
she
an
loves like
idiot.
9 Inch Nails.
And Lord of the
you
Rings.
know?
Oh my God. This woman's got the worst taste. You know what I mean? And she hides it with the accent. You don't know what's happening.
This guy's been tweeting out nonstop about quit playing Shadow of the Nerd Tree.
It's really good. That's really good,
Awesome.
though.
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Have a good time
Why
out
is
there.
your platform?
Have you seen my
I
other
like
one?
bad things
Have you
and don't
seen-
like good things.
Have you seen my other one? My other one that I like a lot. My other one that I like is I show up in Andy's chat or Barrett's chat. And I just go, Shroud has more viewers than this guy.
Let me tell you, Tim. We're 9 hours into our marathon.
not
stream.
right.
We're tired. We have another 5 to go.
Yeah.
Suddenly, great game over. Greg pops up in chat. Shroud has more viewers than these losers.
I didn't say losers. I said these
You
guys.
meant it. It was
God.
I mean, it's
Music-
implied because they have more viewers than Shroud, my friend. What up, Shroud?
My friend.
Music's by Christoph Beck, who did the music for Frozen and Frozen 2, all the Ant-Man movies, WandaVision, Hawkeye, and WandaVision. This is Agatha all along. You know what I mean?
Wow.
This is Let It Go. We're talking some hits
Never
here,
forget.
baby. And then there's this movie, which I'm shocked by because the music, there's some moments where it stood out, but I'm not going to say for positive reasons.
The music to me felt like it was for a different genre for most of the time. It felt like it was way too grandiose for what it was trying
Way
to
too
do.
epic for what's going on. Her pouring out a Rite Aid bag and organizing it with like fast cuts and
I'm
this
not OCD.
epic music playing was like, oh, we're doing something
Yeah,
here.
it was odd. It was odd.
A budget of $65 million and a box office of $57 million. This one didn't do good, y'all.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one did not do good. Nick, I want to start with you. Is this your first time seeing this movie? And what do you think about it?
I have seen this movie prior to this. I don't know that I ever finished this movie, and that was something that kind of occurred to me as we reached the climax of the film. I don't know, I guess 65 minutes into this, because there's no third act in this movie whatsoever. Is that I don't remember any of it. The downside to this particular film is that it is the worst type of movie, in that where Daredevil was bad, it was good because you knew you were going to be like, there's something fun to make fun of here, right? You had Colin Farrell's just completely and totally outlandish. What are you doing?
Andy had a great idea for
That's
content.
a really good idea. You're three. Where Daredevil was fun, you knew it was gonna be fun to make fun of. There was lots of crazy, weird stuff in there, poor choices that were kind of zany and kept the movie moving along. This movie is just plain old fashioned boring.
1000%.
It
Daredevil
is-
was a fun bad movie. This is just a bad movie.
This is it's just I don't understand how you make a movie this boring. Other than I think you just don't have budget for action sequences. So this movie they're like, we get 2. Where do you want to put them?
Cerebral.
Well, right at the beginning and right at the end, I guess, is what we're going to do with this. Jennifer Garner, completely different character than she was in Daredevil.
Her eyes. are
Hold
just
on. This is a
so
great
less
comment from IC Wiener. Great name in the YouTube chat. It says, this was the first time I ever participated in jeering a movie in theaters.
What a word.
It's a great
Like-
great word.
Can you imagine just like your first time being like, boo! This sucks.
I have to, yeah. I don't know why anyone made any choices that they made in this film. I think it was just completely and totally poorly conceived and poorly executed across the board. And everyone that's a part of it should be ashamed of themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah. I mean, it's the worst kind of movie to do these reviews for, right? Because, yeah, it's not fun bad. It's not a great movie. It's not fun good. It's a movie that you watch. And it was the classic of, honestly, the exact opposite of what I said with Daredevil last week, right? Where I stopped Daredevil. I was like, oh, man, only 25 minutes left. This is flying by. And this one I stopped, like, oh, my God, let's go to bed. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and watch the rest of this fucking movie. I'm falling asleep on the couch and I still had 45 minutes. I was like, fuck
Yeah,
me.
Andy and I were talking about it. He was talking about how it took him forever to watch it. And I was like, it's because you feel trapped.
It took me
You
about
feel
3
trapped.
movies. It took me about 3 hours to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Just a lot of like uncontrollable pausing, rewinding because I was looking at my phone. Like I couldn't
focus.
I couldn't like for the life of me try to. I've never watched. It's been a long time, Tim, since I've watched a movie where I don't give a fuck about anything that's happening. Anything. This is just like one of the worst movies that I think we've watched. That sucks that we. What really sucked about it is as I'm watching it, as I'm halfway done with the movie, which is about 2.5 hours of runtime.
145.
No, but I'm halfway done with it.
Got it.
So it took me about 2.5 hours to maybe get to the halfway point. What sucks the most, I was like, man, I have nothing to even make fun of here.
Right.
I'm trying to like pinpoint to stupid line deliveries or a funny little silly moment. It's like they tried real hard to make a good movie here and couldn't even be bad enough to be entertaining. Boring as all hell. Although the one thing that I was kind of shockingly impressed by, maybe less so impressed that it was 2005 for some reason. I thought this movie came out in like in 02 or like 99 or something. But I was like kind of impressed by some of the CG in this movie. Like for the time, there was certain things that I'm just expecting. I'm expecting the Daredevil kicking Bullseye off of the motorcycle and how atrocious that looked and how much that looked like CG Tobey Maguire climbing like video game cutscene looking thing. The sheets I was not impressed by. The green screen I was not impressed by. But there was just like a couple of moments with the tattoo man where the things are coming out of his body.
You know what his name is?
Tattoo.
Yeah.
And it didn't look atrocious. I was like, this looks actually kind of decent. But for the most part, this is just like the most skippable, fucking boring thing I've ever experienced.
Do you know what the bulletproof guy's name is?
Bulletproof.
Stone.
Oh.
Great.
Didn't you love how they called them all out?
Typhoid.
Typhoid.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to go get so-and-so. Tattoo, Stone, Typhoid. Well, they're the only ones here. You could just say, I need y'all to come with me. You don't need to call them all out.
Yeah,
by
but
name.
we need, we
Is it
need
Typhoid Mary?
Just according
I
to
only
this,
know that
just
from Marvel
typhoid.
Snap. I don't know what she's
Well, Typhoid
from. but-
Mary is a real woman who spread typhoid around and like started the typhoid
Especially
epidemic.
she poops in her hands.
Sounds like a villain in Diablo, probably.
Yeah.
Diablo 4.
I'm right there with all
my
of you.
beans.
This movie it's unfortunate because it might be the most boring superhero movie we have ever seen. And that is like such a sin for what this is going for and what this could be. And even like what they have kind of going on. We've seen Elektra be dope, obviously, in the Netflix shows. Even in the last movie, I mean, I didn't like her at all, but the action was at the very least funny, entertaining. Like it wasn't good, but it was like funny to laugh at the gymnastic scene on the playground.
I needed Colin Farrell, man.
I was so bummed to not get Colin Farrell, man. Like that was I was really holding out hope that it was going to happen.
For people that didn't watch Daredevil, Colin Farrell was annoyed by an old lady talking to him too much on a plane. So then he aimed a peanut off and flicked it with his finger, aimed it to bank off of her chair in front of her to the back of her throat to where she choked and died next to him. It's so silly. There was a lot of silly, fun stuff in that movie.
Yeah, and just before we get to the ads, I do want to share something with you guys because everyone out there, and I appreciate you so much, sent me a deleted scene of Bullseye from that movie, and we need to watch it because man, I can't believe this didn't make the cut to make Daredevil.
Everybody
even
talked
better.
about with Daredevil that there was like like Daredevil, the director's cut. The director's cut was so good.
I don't know if this made the director's cut. I think this might have been cut from the director's cut. Oh man, there is nothing I hate more than sitting here trying to get through my thoughts on a movie, and I hear just things dropping near Greg panicking, and Nick moving around. You know what I mean?
I'm not panicking. I'm laughing at Nick as a joke. How you're all in on it.
There's, it's just that fear, Andy.
What
It's
are they
the
setting
fear.
up?
Greg's just nothing. He's just dropping pennies out of his pocket. Just
I was wondering what he was doing.
So what happened is they had a great two-shot of Tim and Andy.
Great two-shot.
And so I reached into my pocket and I was like, what I'm going to do is pull out a coin and slide it over in front of Andy. You know what I mean? And then what happened is Kevin went wide. So then I was holding onto the coins in my hand, and then I dropped one, and I saw Nick, and I'm like, "Well, here we go." So then I just every so often drop another one to see Nick panic.
But I just need, and maybe the people can see it. I don't know what the angle was, but like Greg, your face did that thing where you go like this. You go.
best
And your
best poker face in the industry.
And I'm like, fuck,
Best
something's
poker
gonna
face in the
happen.
industry. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But anyway, this movie.
spit take the
Yeah, he really did.
It's just so boring, and like it's just baffling some of the conversations and dialogue that happen specifically with the goatee man. I don't remember his name's Myrtle or something like that. McCabe. Thank you.
Yeah.
This fucking guy, dude.
Okay, hold up. First off, like, that's impressive, Nick. And I understand you write down the plot, so that's easier for you. When you, I remember Tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
How can you forget him?
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember any other. Who's that?
Abby's the little girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gift. The
treasure.
The treasure.
Yes, the treasure.
Huck.
So-
This movie sucks.
What's up, Nick?
No, finish
Yeah,
your thought
just-
because I have a great question for you guys after this.
Yeah. So much of this was just atrociously bad, not fun to watch at all, and just bizarre as all hell. I see a lot of people in the chat asking, is this better than Catwoman? Catwoman is a completely different league than Elektra. Catwoman is horrible, but has so much to laugh at. That
It's
big
hilarious.
cat, I'll never forget it. Them getting pushed out of the big building, like so much stuff. This movie has nothing that's like going to stick with me. Nothing even close to Colin Farrell's Bullseye at all. But to find some positive, I do think there's two sides to this. The CG in this movie is horrible, and I think a lot of that is because, like what I said earlier, the look of this movie, there just isn't one, and it sucks. But I'm with Andy that there was a couple shots that I was like, I'm weirdly impressed with the quality of this. And there's a weirdly cool, unique thing going on. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I think undeniably the strength of this movie, and it's not a glowing strength, is the bad guys, these rogues that are just weirdo Power Ranger bad guys. This movie reminds me a lot of the Power Rangers movie. The forest fight scene and like all this stuff, like the choreography, like the wire
Reminded
work.
me of Twilight with the
That
forest
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
I mean, that too.
Come on,
and
Shang
that's the
Tsung.
thing. With all of this, I'm like, there's something kind of enjoyable about the final act of the movie. Not great, not even good, but enjoyable of this tattoo man sending out all his like horrible little particle effects.
Snakes.
And then
I got snakes and I got
the
dogs
woman
that
just
fly,
like
and
kissing
my wolves are also
Elektra.
flying. Yeah.
All this shit. Like the bad guys were funny to me, and the teleport fight against Elektra near the well at the very end was not horrible. Like I think that like there's been a lot of fight scenes that we've seen that are way worse than that. And it reminded me of like a fun video game boss fight. That's me being as positive as I possibly can about this movie. I would not recommend anyone watch it. And I do think it is on the bottom 5 of in review movies we've ever seen.
Do you remember the scene in Catwoman where they're falling down the building? One lady's body was just spinning like crazy.
I'll never forget.
It's so great. So many great, memorable moments.
Nick.
Yeah, I mean, we just brought up the character of Abby, and I guess we can get into the plot and to sort of deeper dives into this. But I think I get to the end of this movie and I was like, why is she the treasure?
Didn't see it coming though, did you?
We absolutely saw it coming when she
I definitely
decided.
thought Elektra was the treasure.
Me too.
I thought she grew up, and I was like, oh. And then when Abby's like, oh,
I will say there was a couple
And
like
that is
clear twists and plot stuff, like twists. I don't even reveals of like her dad being like, oh, the targets are them too. When that happened, I was like, huh. And she was like, you didn't see that coming? And I was like, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't think this movie was capable enough to do that.
Well,
Like I
and-
didn't
and
see it coming.
You didn't see it coming because when she goes to the thing for the first time, normally when you wrote that movie, you'd introduce them like right off the rip and then like wait a day and then do that. She's at this fucking house for
10
like
minutes.
she's there for like 5 days. There's scenes in this where she's literally bored, where she's like, I'm gonna organize shit because I'm so bored right now. And I'm like, why are we here? What is
Is
going
that right?
on
I
here?
got the vibe that it was all within like
Christmas dinner.
one day.
No,
and
she
she
was-
just gets there and organizes stuff, then goes for a swim, and then comes back to the house. And
I'm
fucking,
saying-
there's somebody just zip zapping around the house. How fucking weird was that?
Dude. So, like, one thing I really, really didn't like about, and I guess it's a good way for this character to fake her way that she's not this gift, but when Jennifer Garner, like, pops up behind her and she's like, how'd you do that? And she's, like, really amazed by it.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're like a ninja, you wouldn't.
But so this is what I get to, right? This is what I'm kind of driving at, is that by the end of the movie, you go, okay, Abby's they're after Abby, right? We know that probably 20 minutes before the movie ends or whatever it is. But then they're like, well, just make sure you kill the assassin, the Gaijin assassin, whatever it is, however they refer to her. And then the viewer's like, but she's so much more powerful than Abby. Why would she not be the one they were after? Why would she not be? And then you go, okay, well, because Abby's, I guess, young and corruptible, but not really, because
She's gotta be
Abby's like
trained still,
fucking
yeah.
16 years old and has already been
13,
trained by a stick or
golden
whatever it
child.
is. So none of this makes any sense. And then you have the Typhoid character, who everyone has shit on, because remember there's that moment where he's like, oh, your people are an abomination, or your crew's an abomination. But she can literally poison anything around her. But like, that's way cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Than anything that these two assassins can do, because she could just kill someone
She
by
blew a
looking at
kiss
them.
at
Yeah.
somebody and like fucked
I'm like,
them
why
up.
isn't she the treasure? What is this treasure? And what is the use of it? Once you get Abby, so what? You just
Win
have a
the
really
war.
cool assassin?
The war
What?
between good and
Also, she had a weirdly good, great relationship with Stick, even though she only had a trainer every year.
Yeah, I know.
She had a different trainer
Exactly.
every year, but somehow Stick was the one who stuck it out.
Don't think about it, man.
I really
Stick
liked
it
the
out.
guy that I forget his name.
Stickley.
Scott Glenn, I want to say was his name. The guy that played Stick in the
Scott.
series. He was awesome.
He was so awesome.
He was so good.
Did I miss? Was there any actual Daredevil reference in this besides her essentially being like, "Oh, we're not gonna be able to do this alone. We got to get some help." And they pull up in this graffiti of a devil, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they're doing it!" And then it was, "Oh, it's Stick." What?
Yeah, no, there's not.
That's just so. I just think it's so weird that there's this other blind ninja guy,
Bad motherfucker.
and that doesn't come up ever.
Everybody knows
Ever,
that
Greg.
any quarterback who has a lot of different offensive coordinators never develops well.
Yeah.
How are you going to be like this crazy great assassin when you have all these different ninja teachers every year?
You're taking
impossible.
you're taking intro to everything every year. You're never going to
Exactly.
advanced.
I got the feeling from this that was getting retconned because I think a lot of her backstory in this and who her character is, I think is not nowhere close to what it was in Daredevil.
But if that's true, I mean, it might have been
She
a retcon.
whispers at
They
you
didn't
when
need to
she
show the
kills you.
scene of the follow up of her getting like brought back to
Paddled
life.
back to
You know
life.
what I
And her
mean?
eyes,
From
like,
the last
freaking out.
movie, like they very much are
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, it's in the same
If we
world.
didn't
What I
have
meant by that-
though, we wouldn't know she has the ability to see the future.
What I meant was that I think that like the
That's
whole
Elektra.
I've trained with multiple masters and stuff like that. I think they're like, hey, we're just committed to like she came up in this system with Stick, whatever they are, the anti-hand. That's what she was trained by because
foot.
they're the foot. Yeah, it'd be awesome if they were.
Yeah, yeah. Well, before we get to the plot and before we get to a word from our sponsors, I need to share this minute and 18-second sequence with you.
Thank you.
And
I'd love to
I
see
want
it.
you all to pay attention to this and really question, how did this not make the cut?
Okay. I'm excited.
Audio listeners, his hands are out as he comes up an escalator.
He's up at an escalator. He's got a cool coat.
The bullseye.
They're coming to the metal detector here. Giving up his one pen. He had one pen in his pocket. Now he's got
his guitar.
one toothpick. He pointed as it went off.
Raise your arms.
Who's the cameraman?
Why is he in like a music video right now?
Paperclip. Is there just like an open bar rock band like tuning their guitar instruments?
The Hard Rock Cafe they have in the thing. Yeah, this is a great scene. They should have been in there for sure. Oh, he's rubbing his thing even though we can't see it. I love it.
God, he's rubbing it like
I would have just been like, arrest
No
this
wonder,
guy.
man.
Like something's up with this guy.
No one
But,
shoot
like,
the penguin.
I know Daredevil was a bad movie. I know we just shot on it a lot last
Mm-hmm.
week. What the fuck was that? Like, what was the intent of
Art.
that scene? And like, I don't even understand the plot of what just happened. Like, he walks through, clearly has metal all over him, and they're just okay with this big ass metal belt. No, they don't make him take that off. Instead, he puts a toothpick in the little thing that's not even metal.
yeah.
He has multiple freaking paper clips, and
He's
he
a
looks at
rule
the
breaker.
dog, and the dog like is freaking. What is
Yeah,
happening
is there
here?
a thing with bullseye and dogs that we didn't know about? Like I don't.
That's
Also,
how
I'm-
intimidating Bullseye is.
Yeah?
He is the alpha dog no matter where he
Oh
goes.
wow.
Also, I don't know the science
never
behind
missed.
this, but I don't think a paperclip would set off the metal detector. You know what I mean?
Only one way to find out.
You're right. You're right,
Pocket
everybody.
full of paper clips.
There we go.
I'll
SFO.
chew a paperclip next time.
I'm
I
gonna
get
do a first
Before we
class
get to
ticket
the
anymore.
plot, here's a word from our sponsors.
We're celebrating Pride Month with a brand new drop designed by Kinda Funny best friend, Cameron French. We have tank tops, t-shirts, crew necks, and more. So whether you're going to the beach or the mountains this summer, we've got you covered. And we're donating a portion of sales to two incredible organizations, Queer Life Space and Denver-based Center on Colfax. Head over to kindafunny.com/store before the month ends.
I don't have a theme song. It didn't deserve one.
Didn't, dude. You're right.
And I just keep going.
Give me the beat.
name's Elektra. I like these white sheets. My name's Elektra. I got a OCD.
Yeah.
That was
We have a
great.
new theme song singer.
We get some backstory here, which I assumed was Elektra's, but now y'all got me thinking maybe it was Abby's backstory, right? The motherless daughter, the final weapon in an ancient war, died, came back, whatever, all that stuff. And then
I'm sorry to cut you off immediately, but like I can't allow us to go on without talking about the god awful font choice.
Why?
Like Daredevil,
looks Greek.
I liked it. I liked having the braille with the skyscraper. It was a choice. It didn't look that great, but I liked it. This was the ugly looking, almost Greek letters that just was like, what the hell are we doing? And also, it was one of our first introductions to the Action Essentials sound effects kit of anytime anything happens in this movie, no less than 1,000 times, we hear the tring, you know, of just like a
Like I'm on
little
an
like
episode of Game Showdown.
it really does. It's like it is. I think that exact same sound effect. They play it any chance they get, whether or not it's appropriate. This might be one of the most poorly audio designed movies I've ever experienced. It was getting to the point that it's grating to listen to this shit.
I do like their use of drums, though, through 99% of this film that were
Gotta set
played
the
at
pace.
5 billion decibels louder than they needed to be played at. I digress, of course. This guy's giving us some backstory. He's like, there's nothing you guys can do. She's coming to
time
kill me.
began.
She's coming. It's my time. If they say Elektra whispers in your ear right before she kills you, what does she whisper? Whisper to Andy. What does she whisper?
My name's Elektra.
I got OCD.
We have established now that Elektra, because she, I guess, was dead and brought back by Stick, can now has superpowers. Basically, she has this. I forget what the name of the actual technique is, but it is a meditative technique that if you master, you can master time, is what they say, which is how she bounces back and forth in space because she can, I guess, theoretically freeze time, be real close to you, then go back. Kind of a cool concept. Used in this movie, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
She can also, if done it well, she can master death, which they absolutely stole. They stole literally the hand motion and like this from Karate Kid. Kind of annoying to me that they didn't even give a shout out to Mr. Miyagi in this movie. Some sins
Multiple like scenes that look like exactly like they're trying to make you think about Karate Kid, like on a lot of beach scenes, a lot of just like her like doing weird shit.
A lot of training stuff.
But they had Master Roshi,
Yeah.
who is a Dragon Ball Z character, which
Played
is
by.
kind of crazy.
Pretty
Well, this
cool.
is played by Shang Tsung, yeah.
Of course, then she's like, don't worry, death's not that bad. And he goes, how do you know? She goes, I died once. And then she kills the guy.
Did you move her jaw like that also?
No, Jennifer
Dormammu.
Garner. Jennifer Garner in this, and I'm not really super familiar with Jennifer Garner's any of her work. Really,
Juno.
Was she the mom in
mom.
that? She was the one that was trying to adopt the kid,
Mom to
right?
be, yeah.
Right.
13 going on 30.
Okay, thank
There's
you.
Master Roshi right there, too.
I just think that maybe I've never been a fan. No disrespect to Jennifer Garner, but in this movie there are a lot of choices made that I disagree with on a performance
Fair
level.
enough. I agree with that too.
And I also disagree with just
What about the low-rise pants? You
the
disagree with
low-rise
that?
pants and the posture in this film are at odds with one another because she's sort of like so straight up that we're just seeing everything down that you just don't. It's distracting at this point. Now, granted, those were the styles back in 2004. A young Nick Scarpino back in a 24-year-old me was like, "This is the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life." But you look at it now and you're like, "Wow!" It looks like the costumer specifically was like, "Let's make this as small as humanly possible," and it's kind of uncomfortable to watch.
All I could think of is the meme, "Go on, girl, give us nothing." Because like there was just nothing there present. I couldn't name you one thing she did or one thing she did badly or good. It was like a blank slate for me.
We cut back over to The Hand now, led by Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, who we all know as Shang Tsung, and of course Balls of Fury, all these movies that I made you guys watch. He is amazing. Man, they're looking for this cool weapon called the Treasure, and his son Kirigi wants to destroy it. He's like, if we can't get it, we got to destroy it because it could be used against us because it's this crazy cool weapon treasure thing. And it's like, again, what's your plan? You're going to get mind control? How are you going to make this person work for you? It doesn't make any sense. You're thinking it's a weapon of some sort.
Brainwash. You know?
She's 13. She hates her fucking dad.
Easy,
She literally hates authority.
That's Dr. Disrespect.
From here, McCabe wants to come over to pay Elektra for her latest kill. She's scrubbing down the place. She's like, can't leave any of my
I don't
DNA.
have my DNA.
Why do you always do this? The fucking line reads in this movie, man.
So weird.
I wish they were way worse, though.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're just bad. They're not horrible.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, it feels like, especially this guy who's the broker or whatever for this, feels like such a stand-in. No offense to this man, he's just playing it so neutral.
Well, and it's weird because he has a very like noticeable goatee because goatees are noticeable.
Yeah.
That's how he did back
And then he just doesn't. Like it's just very weird.
It
You're
looked like
like,
he played in like Collective Soul. You know what I mean?
let your light shine down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine.
He wants to, of course, give her a job. And he's like, "That's gonna be super hard. It's worth $2 million." And this is where you start asking, like, what is this Elektra character, right? Because she is just a murderer for hire at this point. Why? Why would she turn into that? Because someone killed her dad?
came
Wouldn't
back
you want to
from
go
the
after
dead.
all of the bad people? I guess.
Came back from the dead. You know,
Yeah,
all the
and
people
you
that
should
wanted
kill.
to
That's
kill.
what you do.
And I mean, I guess her whole motivation for being an assassin is when Abby goes, "Why do you kill people?" She goes, "'Cause it's the only thing I'm good at." That's it. I don't think we get any other real backstory other than she saw her mom die and her dad die as to why she is a stone cold killer in this film, and that's
got
weird.
those flashbacks.
Oh, the
It really
flashback of
only
her
the mom
and the
stuff,
devil.
Yeah, we didn't care that much about her dad, do we?
Guys.
We don't even. I don't think we. I think we see her dad once in the pool, but it's not even the guy from the other movie. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Remember that one lady on the computer who was just acting real bad in one of the
Madam
Saw
Web?
movies? No, I'm thinking of that too. But I'm just thinking like some of the line deliveries in the Saw movies that were just so hysterical.
At the police station.
Yeah, and like I just needed some of that here, and there just wasn't. They didn't even give me any bad stuff, man.
So most of this movie's storytelling or plot or B story, I should say, is done in flashbacks. We get a flashback here of her dying. We get introduced to Stick, played by,
Terrence Stamp,
also known for.
General Zod himself from Superman 1 and 2.
Oh.
That's right. He is awesome. And horribly,
I've never seen
horribly
it.
miscast.
before Zod.
Terrence Stamp's awesome.
Fucking what an actor.
Of course, she's a badass and she kills everyone. And she's like, "I'm the best assassin ever." He goes, "Yeah, but you're not pure of heart. You don't know the way. You'll never be one of us." Sends him away. Of course,
Is this a test?
Yeah.
No.
No, but it is.
Fucking hate
See,
it.
That it
they
is.
got you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
So you see, you would never see.
You needed to know you were pure.
The
of heart.
camera went down. He had his fingers crossed.
Exactly. Let's see. We get a very strange scene where Elektra packs and then goes swimming. This is where I guess she's OCD, so we get that.
And she struggles underwater.
This was
There's a
a-
whole lot of symbolism.
Struggle is a good way to put a lot of things here because her pouring this thing out and just like the music playing and her organizing everything. I'm like, wow, this is definitely an unnecessary scene. Even if you're trying to get something across, you didn't need to do that.
Right.
And it's just very weird. And then seeing her dive into the water, every camera shot they chose, and there's like 100 of them. Every single one's weirder than the last. And like the amount of time she like pops out of the water and then she's somewhere different. I'm like, I get what you're trying to go for. This movie, I earlier said, doesn't have any style or defined look. And I think what it was trying to do was emulate a graphic novel in some way. Like I feel like a lot of the shots are very colorful in weird ways or like blocked in ways that you wouldn't normally do in this flashback thing. You can kind of see like a 9-panel page of like diving, coming out in different places. It really doesn't work. And it is helped not working by every angle of her swimming. She's wiggling an excessive amount, a distracting amount, where it's like she'll do a normal swim thing and then her body's just fucking going. And I'm like, what are we doing here? You look like you are struggling to survive in this water.
I think if I had to guess, I would guess the director was like, this is the only reason anyone's going to want to see this movie is that we're showing off Jennifer Garner's like very toned body.
That is
underwater.
insane.
I mean, that's really the only thing. This is really the only kind of marketing material you possibly could put out for this. There's Elektra, not a well-known character. Jennifer Garner, a big enough star back
Was she
then.
in the Alias time?
She was in Alias. This would have been probably around
Oh yeah,
the
Alias had launched her, so she's
Yeah.
past Alias by quite some
Oh,
time.
okay.
So I mean, I have to imagine they were like, let's just shoot this very good-looking woman from every possible angle, so that we have something to put into the trailer, and that's where they got all this wonderful underwater
I
footage
mean,
of her from.
you're talking about that, but like this is the time of Deep Blue Sea, not Deep Blue Sea.
It's also the time of Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea. Of Blue Crush, of the just
Wait,
Into
which
the
one was
Deep?
that? Wait, which one was the one with Paul Walker that I loved?
That's the
Jessica
one I'm
Alba.
talking. Into the Deep. That's
Into the
Deep.
Deep.
With
Yeah.
Jessica
Deep Blue
Alba.
Sea.
Yeah.
How dare you?
What was the one with the 3 girls? Blue Crush.
That's Blue Crush.
Crush.
So there's
Man, I don't know
okay.
what
Stop.
Kate
Stop.
Bosworth.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's Blue Crush.
Yeah.
Starring Letty, Kate Bosworth,
course.
and the other lady. There's into the deep, right? Which I think was Paul Walker and Jessica Alba, and that was my first time seeing those two together. And I was like, magic is born. They never did another film
You
together.
bring up the Leonardo DiCaprio one next.
Which one?
There was one.
Blood Diamond?
Yeah, there was the Blood Diamond.
No,
one.
I was going to bring up Deep Blue Sea, which was Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, and Samuel L. Jackson,
course,
and that's
sure.
the banger out of all 3 of those movies. So don't throw shade at that shit, my
There's
friend.
no shade at all. Just it's not the same genre we're talking about of people just swimming sexy underwater.
I mean,
Shark did
it's
its
true.
thing.
It's true.
Nick, do you think you could swim like the little Elektra was doing, where it's like no hands, just legs?
No, I think that I'd probably throw my shoulder out if I tried to swim right now.
So, not even moving your
Nope.
shoulder.
I digress. So here we go. We get a strange scene of her. Pops up, sees her dad. Her dad's really tough on her. We're like, we get it. It's boring. And anyway, she comes home, sees Abby jacking all of her stuff, and she stops her. And then,
Hold on.
Warps around
We
a bit.
can't just say one sentence of like she sees her stealing stuff and then he stops her, because that's not what happens. What happens is she comes in the house and we see this little fucking rat girl bouncing around in the background, and it's like, why the fuck would a human being ever be doing that? Even if she was stealing, she's way too visible. It's not like she's trying to hide her stuff. She's like, it looks like one of those running through the different doors Scooby-Doo things, you know? And it's like, all right, what's going on?
But she's the chosen one.
Throws the freaking razor blade and it just like gets her. And I'm like, God damn, this escalated so quickly. And then
don't
the
fuck with
back and
Elektra,
forth
man.
that they have
So bad.
is just...
it's one of those things where when you're watching a scene like this and you see it, like one character sees the other character do something crazy, and then they don't react to it in a way that they should react with the dialogue and the tone of the next portion of the scene. You as the viewer start feeling crazy. You're like, am I being like gaslit right now?
Yeah.
Why would Abby not be fucking terrified of seeing this
She's
woman?
from this world, man. She knows she's a chosen one.
I'll tell you another thing that makes me feel the same way, Nick. Later on, when her and sexy dad are on the fucking
call
porch,
him Mr. ER, because that's what he's
Mr.
from.
ER and Jennifer Garner are on the porch, and she has the audacity to pull a Batman on him in the middle of their conversation, where she just disappears,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with
It's
you? Like,
so weird.
you're not acting like a human right now.
Yeah.
Like, he just like it's like totally okay for her. I don't know why they thought that'd be a good choice of like, look how fast and mysterious she is.
And-
Listen, I understand dating's been easy for you, but there's got to be a lot of cat and mouse to it. All right.
just like, whoa, where'd you go?
One of the things I did to Jen on our first date, I was like, look outside, you can see the seals. And then I just dropped and rolled out of the bar.
Water.
All my change.
Trying to swim with your arms.
all he left was 41 cents behind.
Calling card.
Let's see. There's just so many flashbacks in this movie. This is where we get the flashback with the mom and the devil and all that stuff. I think she finds the devil and then wakes up crying. The next day, Mark comes to the door and is like, "I'm so sorry about my daughter. Did she steal something?" He's like, "Yeah, she did. Whatever. She's in trouble." And then
What'd she steal?
what's that? Oh, she stole. What did she steal?
The necklace.
Oh, the necklace. Right.
Oh, ooh.
There you go. There's your call back to Daredevil.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his necklace. It was her original necklace, right?
Yeah, but we know she wore it in Daredevil, so you know.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
Look at me. Look at you guys. Let's see. Abby comes back the next day. Well, I mean, by the way, all of these sequences are just so fucking boring and should have been. A lot of them should have been left on the cutting room floor. But she comes back. It's not that the sequences are boring. It's that they're so slow, and there's a lot of extra dialogue, and there's so much fat in all of these things, and weird pacing, and poor acting, and just bad dialogue. But Abby's like, "Hey, you fucking ratted me out to my dad. Want to come over for Christmas?" And you're like, "What? What are we talking about?" And then Elektra's like, "No," and then just decides to go over there, right?
Yeah.
Because she's antsy. That is her whole motivation
I just
for
wanna
doing
kill.
anything.
I'm
is
in
that
this place
she
to-
wants to get out and kill, but because she can't kill, she's got to fucking bide her time by going out. and
I'm
having
an
her life.
assassin, and I just want to kill, but I have to wait here. So what I will do is go swimming in front of everybody, meet these people, give them my real name, and I'm obviously Jennifer Garner, right? So I'm fucking stunning. So it's like you're gonna remember me, even it's
For
like
the
none
rest
of
of
this,
your life.
None of this makes sense. What was the Fassbender film that just came out where he's the hitman?
The killer.
Right, and he lays up there listening to music for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It's like that's a fucking dedicated hitman.
That movie rocked.
I don't understand the plan of like needing to kill both of these two people. They're both on the hit list.
I don't understand the coincidence of it. I don't get why she came to this area when McCabe didn't know
It makes
what was supposed
no
to be
sense.
So like my thought was, oh, she's laying low here, and then when she gets the dossier, she's gonna go back on the boat, fly to wherever the fuck she's supposed to kill these people. Who put her in this place?
Stamp. Stick.
Oh,
Terrence Stamp.
Stick.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Stick orchestrated this
The whole
entire
thing.
thing
You're
so
right.
that
That's
she
right.
could see
That's right.
she is
It's her
pure of
test. I
heart.
forgot
But
about
why
the
did
scene where they
Stick?
dropped
How
in
did
the
Stick
forest.
get her in that house?
And that's because that's where they told her to go and wait for further orders.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
And so the
I
whole
missed
point
that
was
part.
let her stew there to then fall in love with this man and the girl, not like
And
romantic
maybe not
love.
kill them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See them as more than just targets, so that when you finally get the dossier after your delicious Christmas dinner out of a cast iron skillet, you can't kill him. You can't pull the trigger.
Here's what I fucking hate though.
I wish I was an assassin. I'd be so good at it. I don't give a shit.
You would be terrible.
You pass me the 20 right now, Andy. Pop, it's over. You know what I mean?
Here's what I hate.
They'd hear
and then
you
I roll out of here.
She needs to kill both of them.
They call him the pocket change
And she
assassin.
has a bow and arrow.
A crazy bow and arrow with like gears and shit.
It's a wild
with a sniper.
It's a wild crossbow with a crazy like scope and stuff. But it's like, wouldn't you want to be in the house with like, boom, shank them and then go for the like? What's
DNA.
or a gun.
What's one bow gonna do?
Right now,
One arrow.
I love you to death. I do. And it's just funny you don't think like me and clearly Elektra and the other
the
assassins.
crazy
right?
assassins.
If right now
You're not elite.
you took a bolt to the heart, the last thing on Tim Getty's mind is going to be, I got to get down and roll out of here. Now, don't get me wrong. As soon as I heard the bow draw, I'd be on the ground and out of here. I'd be fucking toast.
No, but I mean-
But like, you know, if the dude sees his daughter get blown away with an arrow,
Yeah.
it's going to be, ah! He
But-
hits the other one. She's
Cute.
got all day to be like, all right, you stupid fucking dad.
Well,
I
Andy,
mean, but they're just in a house with not a whole
but
lot
you-
of windows.
But
Like-
you have to remember, Andy, that they are near a forest. What do you do in the forest? You hunt.
Hunt.
What do you normally hunt with? A bow and arrow. So her mind, she's thinking, Dad takes one to the chest.
Yeah.
Abby's gonna think, oh my God, what a crazy hunting accident. Run to her dad's side, and that's when she gets one right
so
through
you
the
went the
temples.
opposite of where I thought it was. She's gonna shoot them both with the bow and arrow. Cops show up. She's just there in flannel and has that weird little hunting hat. She's like, I don't know what happened.
The
I'm
bow got
sorry."
away from me.
The bow got away.
My name's Elektra.
I would have just chink, fucking thrown a grenade
Yeah.
in the house. You
Done.
know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
man.
She,
If
of
you want
course,
to make it look like that, you got to fake a gas leak and blow it up that way.
but
You don't know anything.
She doesn't
about killing
care
people.
about what the murder looks like.
Yeah.
I just told you she did. She's gonna act like a hunter.
so we've got a Christmas dinner already, and he tells her his
Well, you don't even
name's
know it's Christmas, do you?
Elektra, and he goes, oh, real name, oh, like the Greek tragedy, and she's like, no, yeah, what a fucking weird thing to say to me. I might let him fucking kill
Fucking
you.
weird thing to say.
Anyway, she goes home, gets the dossier the next day. And by the way, I love that McCabe calls and says the dossier has been delivered. It's like, well, okay, cool, weird extra step. Seizes
Gotta
the
make
two of
this guy
them,
matter somehow.
tries to kill them with a bow and arrow. Can't bring herself to do it because, of course, she met them 5 minutes
fed me
earlier
the night before.
and they were nice. And she's been clamoring to kill the whole time. So this makes absolutely no sense.
Hold on. Earlier, I said the only thing I enjoyed about this movie was the team of bad guys
Mm-hmm.
and like the kind of final fight thing. The other thing I enjoyed quite a bit, a line that actually made me laugh. What do you do? Layoffs, payroll reduction, that sort of thing. That's funny because she kills people.
Yeah. Payroll
Thank
reduction.
God Abby
makes
calls
sense.
that out later. You know what
I know. Anything that had to come back in this movie, I was like, we didn't need to hear that again, and we definitely didn't need the kiss and to be like
Which one, with
it was
typhoid?
bad or whatever. No. we
Oh,
didn't
I,
need
oh,
that
I
either.
hated that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she says I hated that. I was like,
hated
oh, man. And I'm just mad she's moving on so fast.
It's
Go back to fucking Hell's Kitchen.
Figure it
Find
out.
Matt Murdock. What is your problem?
how are you gonna bang Ben Affleck and then this guy?
The problem is, too, you wait
Well.
3 days, the wind's going to get to New York. He's going to smell you.
You're
You got a
right.
whole problem. You
That's
know what I
gonna be
mean?
really bad. Yeah.
Bloodhound Matt Murdock out there sniffing the streets. He's
Elektra.
going to show up be like, was there an assassin here? The cops are like, no, there was a hunter. Horrible.
She was wearing a lot of flannel. A lot of
Let her
flannel.
go. Wasn't her fault.
Everywhere she goes, people just get hit by 1-2 arrows. So she goes back over to the house.
1 or 2.
1 to 2.
She goes back over to the house, and for fucking some stupid reason, she's playing coy. Can I talk to you for a second? It's like, granted, I guess the assassins were outside. And then before she goes into the house, we get what I would like to refer to from here on out as the worst shot
Poof.
I have ever seen in any bad Marvel action movie. And there is so much build up to this shot, and it is in slow-mo, and it looks like Super fucking Mario jumping up to hit a brick.
Double jump.
And it's so epic, and all she does is jump 1 foot in the air and stab an assassin, just poke a little bit in the belly, and then he
Poofs.
blows up in green smoke. And I'm like, that's a weird call.
When it happened, I was like, what?
What the
What?
I
fuck?
was so confused.
And then you're going to see that 500 more
I know.
times.
And
Well, now I know that they're evil. They're
that's the
abominations.
CG that is awful. Like that's.
Awful.
I mean, there's a
Horrible.
lot of like bad CG in this, but like that's the stuff where I was like, "What? I don't understand what's happening right
yeah,
now."
that's like if I tried to do this action scene and be like, I could pull that off. You know what I mean? Download some stock footage, put that shit there.
Cross
That was
dissolve, yeah.
bad.
Bad.
Yeah, exactly. Just across the solve and no color correction.
It's
But the even the dialogue leading up to the scene of her being, hey, like, we need to talk. It is a fucking torrential downpour storm. And they have to have a back and forth before they go like, oh, can we go inside?
Yeah.
It's like, that should have went more like, hey, we need to talk as they're already walking inside.
We don't need...
you know?
That's what I'm talking about. These scenes are just so bloated.
Yeah.
There's just so many... And it's because they don't have anything. There's nothing in the script. There's
have
no
anything.
point to this.
Yeah.
And the action sequences are so, like... They had to have an epic moment there because we haven't seen an action sequence in like 20 minutes in this action film. Anyway, she kills another assassin even though he's got a really cool mini dart gun. Is it cool? I don't know. I can't tell. The little revolving dart gun.
Oh,
Pew, pew, pew,
no.
pew, pew, pew.
That was weird.
Very stupid. Kills him. He erupts in green smoke. And I'm like, cool, this is just what we're going to deal with for the rest of our lives. From there, we go over to...
well, she threw a shuriken at him.
She grabs the dart, like midair.
Yeah.
A lot of them shoot. She grabs one of them.
Because she's
And
been
it's like,
trained
but
on.
what are you going to do with it? Like, what I thought it was going to turn into, like, she's going to, like, throw it in some cool way.
No.
They just forget about it.
Anyway, you know who hasn't forgotten about
Bulls,
this?
I wouldn't forget about it.
Kurigi and his weird dudes. They show up and they're like, "Hey, you screwed up," and now it's our turn. And the leader of the hand, who you're like, "This dude's
Leader
for
of
sure
the
going to come
hand.
back later in this movie." You have to remember they're like, "This movie's going to be so successful. We're keeping this guy in our back pocket as a
We
big
got to
daddy for
build
number 2."
a universe here.
He greenlights them and he's like, "We'll find her in 5 seconds." Tattoo, stone, tree, typhoid, rock, brick, whatever. They're all coming with him.
ground
and this,
type,
and
all
we
that.
do get this one cool shot, which I actually do love. And I think one of you guys mentioned it earlier, the tattoo stuff.
It's
where
sick.
where the little eyeball of the eagle like looks, and I was like, "Oh, that's
It's
pretty
a little
cool."
hint, and then they keep going with it.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
pretty
Like
cool.
this group, I'm realizing right now, Andy, it reminds me of Sifu. It reminds me of all of it.
yeah.
Like, imagine fighting all of these guys in
Yeah.
each level. Yeah.
They head over to Stick, the pool hall, and he's like, he's just playing pool.
Yeah.
This legendary guy playing pool, and he's just
Well, why?
Because he's
Full stick. When he fights her, hits her with a stick.
I just
Had to
very
do
true,
it.
very cool.
No.
He's like, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you.
Not at all.
Because this guy's lying to you about what happened with it. He could have literally, I guess he's putting her on a path to purity or whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
Anyway, she doesn't want to go. That doesn't work out. They go outside.
Why wasn't this Daredevil? Like, this scene is set up for it to be Daredevil. I understand that so far in this movie, they set up that there's this Stick character, but like, this is the first time we really get to see who Stick is. We get this scene, set up for the scene for seeing this pool hall. We see the graffiti of a devil. We hear rap rock playing. To me, I'm like, this is referencing Daredevil,
Yeah.
the movie that this is a spin-off of. And then we just don't get him.
The
I
devil.
didn't look into the trivia of this. Is there a deleted scene?
I
don't
gotta
think so.
assume that, like, this screams it's a movie that they kind of lost hope through the development in. Where as it was being made, they thought this is going, and
100%.
and there was less and less enthusiasm for marketing, and it just seemed like, oh, we just got to put this movie out. But let's not even try to waste money on Affleck, and
Screen Rant reports Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner went public with their relationship in 2004 following the release of Daredevil in 2003, and Garner also pushed for Affleck to join Elektra. The studio reportedly resolved to omit Ben Affleck entirely out of fear their relationship would negatively impact the movie. So we didn't have like a Geely situation going on.
Got it. Got it.
Well, poor choice. Either way, we get Stick here, and he's like, "I'm not helping you. You got to ask yourself why you saved these people. Was it some sort of penance?" And she's like, "What?" And then they go outside and they see the big eagle there, and she's like, "Oh shit, it's him." The devil
God,
imagery.
when the door and the fucking eagle starts moving on the walls. God, jeez.
I will say, for a movie that's a sequel to Daredevil, the devil imagery in this, sort of being, I guess, reminiscent of like her demons, is a weird choice because you're like, well, to your point, every time we see a devil, you're gonna think Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna think something like that's happening. Wow, at one point we even see a
that
devil.
was
in our
another
mom's
deleted
room.
scene right here.
Well, on multiple points, we see a devil, and he's just in the fucking bedroom, like killing her mom, and he's just like,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Kevin's showing us a deleted scene where Ben Affleck / Matt Murdock did show up
Why didn't he
to
help?
talk to her, and it looks like a dream. It's very much looks like
Okay.
a dream.
Look at that straightened hair, man.
It's so
They
weird.
had to have it. They had to put the wig.
Yeah,
back on.
they just fought the cat that was having sex with that wig, and they fought it, and then brought it back.
What does he look like?
Who the hell knows? From there on the road, we get a very bad scene where Abby asks Elektra why she kills people, and quote, "It's what I'm good. It's what I'm good at." And then Abby waits the perfectly poor beat and goes, "That's messed up." And then Elektra goes, "Yeah," and that's that scene.
that's the scene.
That's the whole scene. They head to McCabe's ranch, and he's like, "Dude, you're crazy. Get away from these people. The hand is coming. They're going to kill you. Are you out of your fucking mind? And then 5 seconds later, he goes, go, save yourselves. And then sacrifices himself for two people that 5 minutes ago he was like, who the fuck are they? Just kill them and move on with your life.
And who the fuck is this
She's like,
guy?
they're already dead. They're already dead. Why are you trying to...
The entire thing makes so little sense. Again, as you're the broker, you're the agent, you're whatever. You should have, earlier on, right? It doesn't matter if you don't do it, Elektra, somebody else will, right? Then you show up on your doorstep to this weird country house that I assume is just a safe house. It's got the cool underground thing.
Yeah.
But you get there and you have your shotgun and you're like, you want me to do it? Or you like, I'm me, and granted, I'm half assassin.
You're a badass.
And I know, I'm like, yes, you are already dead.
Yeah.
If anything, this character, you would think if he's in this business, even though he didn't understand DNA, would have been like, are you going to pull the trigger on me? I need to take care of this. All right, well, I'm not even turning around to look. I'm getting in my car and leaving. You take the house and do whatever you fucking need, but I'm gone. But then to sit here, and do like when he told her and them to leave, and then went to confront him, or was going to, I was like, maybe he's going to do the open the door. They went down the alley, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking, I'm in the same business. You still get killed, but do something slimy. No, he's a fucking assassin booker with a heart of gold.
This is I know on In Review we sometimes are like, well they should have done, and it's like whatever. There's so many things that would need to happen for this to work, and this movie doesn't even deserve this. But what they should have done here is she goes to that bar. It's Daredevil. She gets him like, homie, I need your help. They come back. Daredevil's this guy. Daredevil's the one that's like, protect the girl. Go. I got this. We get a dope ass fight scene with Daredevil. Then come up with a reason that Daredevil can't go with her for the rest of the adventure.
Right.
We get him for as long as we need in a spin-off of Daredevil, and then move the fuck on.
Could have been cool.
But no, we just get this goatee man.
I mean, to be fair, Daredevil was so terrible that would have been what you just described would have been terrible too, but it would have been better than this character, who, by the way, is a master assassin's handler, and the best he can come up with is an old double-barrel hunting rifle to fight off the Hand, who he knows. He knows. It's not like he doesn't know who's coming after him. He's like, this is the Hand. You're not going to beat them.
They have magic powers.
Yeah, these fuckers are serious, right?
Mystical stuff going on.
Anyways, he gets killed. And then Kirigi reads his brain because that's his special power. He's got a lot of special power. And he goes, oh, they went down into the little tunnel. We got to chase after them. From here, we go over there. This is where we get the amazing sequence where one by one she starts taking out all of the elite assassins.
Dude.
And she does it in a way that I'll give you two options. Does she A, figure out what their powers are and eventually figure out a creative way to overcome their powers? Or
snap
B,
Tattoo's neck.
Just kill him. Just kind of
That's
kill
fine.
him.
Whatever. Snap his neck. Whatever. It's the
tree one.
stone thing where we
This guy
shoot
gets like a
through
bullet.
a door. Stone's like, and I'm like, oh shit, he's bulletproof. Okay, so he's
Yeah.
like Superman
He's a
in
tank.
vulnerability. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then we get this thing where the sai breaks off in his back. And I was like, okay, obviously awful wire work throughout all of this.
Yeah.
Where even for me, I was like sleepily watching. I'm like, why is Jennifer Garner running so? Oh, they're gonna do some wire shit. There it is. Okay, whatever. But then she breaks the sai, and I'm like, okay, yeah. How are you going to beat this? She runs up the tree that she put the little
Rangers.
things in. Right. He punches or throws something into the tree, and the tree has horrible CG of falling and cutting in half, or cutting out a section and landing on it. And then she just starts running down the
Flips
tree
around,
as it falls and angling it to him. And he's so caught up in, of course, the stupidity of Abby in this hole with her dad,
Fucking stupid.
protected, yelling Elektra for no reason. Like, what do you want Elektra to do with this information? Why do you care so much about this woman you barely met? There's a lot of shit going on here. But anyways, he gets so distracted by that, he gets crushed by the tree and is just dead. His power wasn't that he's invulnerable; it was that he's invulnerable to hunting rifles.
And yeah, exactly. I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, because I did not even want to rewind to make sure I was right about this. He did just get close range shotgun
By a
right?
shotgun.
Yeah.
and just was just
And the pellets
But
of the
the
shotgun
tree kills
shells.
him? Like, there's something about that.
No, your guys are off on here. You guys missed a big thing. Trees
wood.
get made into paper. Paper beats rock.
And rock's very similar too.
Stone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Like chills.
Put that in the wiki.
Really fucking stupid.
that in
Really
the wiki.
stupid as hell.
Oh man! And then this is the point where I think as everyone starts fighting, Abby takes her warrior beads off and starts wrecking shit too. And you're like, "Oh, you could have been helping me this entire time." That's pretty
the
cool.
secret revealed.
At one point, I think I might have gotten lost in the sauce there. You simply, let's see. Okay, that's right. This is where Typhoid kisses her, I think, and then sucks the energy out of her.
Yeah.
And then
what horrible.
And then
blocking.
I think. Oh no, it's later.
Horrible
It's
blocking.
later. And then they bounce out because this is where at this point, this is where Stick and all his people pop down. And you're like, oh, that was.
It's so funny.
Thanks for
They're all
waiting.
in white.
This reminds me so much of Next Karate Kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So they take her back to the cool beach area where they all train. I imagine there's a cool taco shop somewhere around there as well.
God, some great fish tacos.
And this is where he's like, yeah, Abby was, she's one of us, and I was just waiting for you to kind of come around. And
We need you to prove you the pure heart.
yeah, you needed to prove
yourself,
your
actually.
pure heart. And now you're pure heart, and that's cool. And then we have a great scene. Oh, I forgot to mention that Abby, for whatever reason, and however, I don't know, went down into McCabe's cellar and found some hair dye.
Yep.
And had dyed her hair the exact
So
same
fast.
color as Jennifer Garner's in 5 minutes. And
So
it's
fast.
off-puttingly
What
weird.
the
Garnier
fuck?
fruities.
Why?
Exactly. Over
She did the
here,
commercials, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
Not
Yeah,
for that
Jennifer
one, for
Garnier fruities.
Resume.
Maybelline,
Ooh la la.
Tresemme, whatever. Yeah.
we go over to her little cool shed, and she's like, hey, do you think you're better than me? So I know I'm better than you. And then they kind of fight, and
You
it's,
will be.
and it's fun, I guess.
No, it's really not.
I think that's
I
what's
love your
happening.
trying your best. They went to their cool shed and it was fun, I guess.
Just all of this is like, you can definitely tell all this was just like draft one, and they're like, let's just go shoot with it. None of this is fun at all.
Yeah, we already got word that like this whole universe is being canned, so who cares,
Later, because we have absolutely no way to figure out how to get the bad guy and the good guy back together. Jennifer Garner just meets with Kagiri in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
She's like, you versus me, buddy. That's how we're gonna get ourselves into the third act of this film. Usually, Tim, of course, when you pace out a movie like this, you like to have every single thing be like, in movies like this, you look at this point is usually the path or the part where they're like the most desperate, where the characters have nowhere else to turn, and then that puts into the climax. This one, they're like, she's protected here. She's actually fine. As long as she stays here, there's nothing the hand can do to them. And so Jennifer Garner's like, I'm going to finish this once and for all. You versus me. And we go back to her
normal life.
childhood mansion, which is in disrepair. And she
Oh,
fights.
come on. There's some great lines, though. Like, let's go back to the beginning, where it all began, where it all ended. Whatever the fuck they were doing. And I'm like,
The war is over. The war's just begun.
They thought they were cooking real
Yeah,
hard there.
totally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off book here because I just want to describe sort of the next couple sequences. One, she fights Kurigi, and the sheets in this scene are so present.
When she got covered in the white, I was like, I never saw this movie. This is my first time ever watching this movie. I'm like, is she about to pop up in the white Elektra outfit? Is that what they're trying to do here? Like, she's going to come up and go
With the
and be
headpiece,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, no, they
No.
didn't. They didn't do that. Yeah, this sheet thing, it's funny to me. And we'll have to check in on in review in a couple years to see what happens here. Because earlier I said this doesn't have anything like Catwoman that's going to stick with me forever. The sheet thing might. I might remember these sheets because this was insane. The amount of sheets, the amount of CG, the amount of coming back to use the sheets. I don't want to say in creative ways, just in different ways. Wild.
Not nearly as wild though as when she loses. She made a bet with this guy. Hey, you versus me, winner take all. And then Abby comes in and kind of saves her and distracts her. And then she takes Abby's bracelet, runs around Kirigi, up the little stairs.
Oh my God.
And then gives Abby the and then tugs her up with him. This guy is a mythical being who can read your fucking head and zip zap. Like, this guy's like the Flash all over the place. And he's like, damn, that was good. Good one. There's no way I
me
could
there.
possibly get up this staircase now because you guys went up there. Of course, we go over to the maze where Cedric Diggory's body was found. And we had this fun thing.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
they're like,
very
we can't
cool.
figure out how she's going to kill Typhoid. And then Typhoid is about to kill Abby. And so she's just like, fuck it, I'll just throw a sigh in a direction.
I
And it
like
goes-
this shot.
She
She
used
saw it.
the
Slams.
super future powers.
Yeah, whatever. She kills Tattoo, snaps his neck.
Remember the snakes?
I do want to talk. Yeah, God, I can't
Oh,
forget
the
snakes.
glowing
That was
snakes.
terrifying, though.
I've seen
I-
that movie before.
I really want us to talk a little bit more about her powers because we skipped over the actual meditation scene. that was very unnerving, very uncomfortable to watch. Of her just be like, just sit here, just meditate. She's scared. It lasted way too long.
We're building a little relationship with you.
Are we?
Them explaining in the beginning of the whole when time began, like there's all these powers you can get and all that bullshit and the narration that they then bring up multiple
Think
times.
of how much
throughout the
better
movie.
Kung Fu Panda did all that.
Honestly, the amount of times I thought about Kung Fu fucking Panda in this
Bro, I'm
movie,
gonna be real. Fucking Balls of Fury did this movie better than this movie is.
you are so right, and I hate saying that. But yes, you're right. But yeah, there's something about it where it's like it really feels like for her the power set of I don't even know what the name is. Like
I think it's Kamiguri. I think it's
Something like that.
Kamiguri is what I have written down. I could be
it's
wrong.
like okay, cool. It allows you to kind of see the future a little bit, but then also it can bring you back from the dead.
If you're
Bring
pure of
people
heart,
back
it can
from the
bring
dead.
you back from dead.
But it's like man, if
So
you
now
learn
she can do it.
Spanish, you're also going to be a great cook. It's like
true.
these things. It's not like there's any level of like you can manipulate time, which then it's like
Right.
just two.
It doesn't lead
random-ass
into each other.
things.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar to like I don't want to say the Force, but like where it's like you can do this and you can also
And
do
you
it's a
can do that.
catch-all, right?
You could super jump.
Oh, why? Because the Force. It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of boring. If you could do everything with it, like pick a lane.
You have super
We need-
speed, but only in that one scene in Phantom Menace.
We need her
Exactly.
to be able to, and I guess they did this to a degree, but the whole point is leading up to the fact that once she's pure of heart, she's mastered this and then can bring people back from the dead, which we kind of get there in the end, but it's just kind of weird. But she does it by, and then you hear this off in the distance. What? Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight. Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight. Boom, you know what I mean? Oh my God. Come on, Bill Conti.
Guys, we are like 2 weeks away from part 1
Fuck
of
my
3
life.
of
Yes,
the final
I need it.
season
There's 3?
of Cobra Kai.
This shit go on forever. Anyway, Abby dies almost, but
pulling
then
an
she
Attack
brings
on
her
Titan.
back. And the next morning, Mark comes to say goodbye. This is it. The movie's done. We've killed Karigi somehow.
Oh,
I
shit,
forget.
really?
Yeah, I forget how we killed him.
He was warping around.
Oh, yeah,
and
and she
eventually
just-
she stabbed him. when
she was
he
just
got-
better
he
than
got
him this
close.
time.
Yeah,
Like
She was just better than him this time.
better than him this time. Stabs him, kind of. Didn't even seem that brutal. He falls down the well and he like pops. Like not even. He doesn't hit the ground or
he does
anything.
the thing where he puts his really long well, puts his swords on it, and they're clanging. He's like, ah! And then he pops.
It was horrible.
Very bad.
Go make a deal with the devil.
So now,
Amen.
Elektra has achieved spiritual purity.
Yep.
She's mastered the art that she has studied her entire life.
Yep.
She has thwarted the enemy. She has saved Abby from a life less ordinary. Now Abby gets to go on and she's free forever.
life less
Which I don't know why, because by the
She's gonna
way,
get a tan.
they've explicitly said the hand wants this person. They've sent 3 types of like 2 different groups of people, right? And Elektra goes, "It's okay now. You're safe. No one's ever gonna bother you again." But the hand still exists. I digress. And then Mark's like, "Do you want to like hang out?" And she's like, "No, I couldn't possibly." And then leaves. We're done.
We're done, dude.
That's it.
Credit
Why is she
to
leaving?
it.
And then Stick spots her and then tells her sometimes our second life is even better than the first. And Elektra slowly walks out of the gates of her family home, and we end on red fabric swaying in the wind. And that is how this film ends.
Elektra, everybody.
Damn near killed you.
Oh!
Now it's time for Ragu Bagu.
Ragu. Bagu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the original podcast within a podcast that started it all. Rad guys talk bad guys, or we call it Ragu Bagu. As you know, we go through the MCU and a bunch of other universes and rank all the villains on one giant unwielding list. Elektra's people will enter as the 60th Ragu Bagu to be ranked. Of course, we break into tiers these days, and I assume everybody's fine with us going to the F tier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
Well, okay,
I'm not
yeah.
at all. Like I.
You
think
mean
that
the
this-
hand, Karigi's like people? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, the squad of the people. Like I think that they were definitely entertaining. I feel like their power set
I
was
did not find
was
them entertaining.
funny. Some of the CG
agree
and like
with.
stuff was unique and cool. I put them way above some of these other people. I put them very
great.
far from Colin Farrell.
Where's Colin Farrell? Let's start there. We put him up.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
I
They put him in,
only
like,
really
service.
liked the snakes
Bullseye.
and
there you-
Typhoid Mary
Fuck
walking
you.
through the field of
23rd.
flowers.
Colin Farrell's 23. That puts him in the
All right.
B tier.
I'd put these people bottom of C tier. Where
You're
are we at?
idiots.
Ethan Hawke, Strange Supreme,
I'm with that. Bottom of C.
The Vision from Solo,
Andy, come on. Put him in the F tier.
Flag Smashers. Yeah,
you
they were
would
more
put
fun
this
than any-
above Loki in the Thor movie. That's insanity.
No, I probably wouldn't do that. That's tough. Well,
Thank you for
we'll
reading
put them
the
right
list,
below.
Father.
We'll
Thank
put
you,
them right
thank you.
below. Well, I guess 40 fucking things on the list.
Hey, you know what? I'd like you to do is lose the fucking attitude and be an asshole.
I'm at
with
46.
Me, all right?
I'm with that. I
Put it wherever you
47.
want, baby.
there he is. He's back.
I'm under Loki.
Under
above
Loki.
Gravik.
Gravik from
D
Secret
tier.
Invasion.
That works.
All right, fine.
You're right, Andy. You're a smart cook.
Gravik.
Yeah.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I forgot about Secret Invasion, man.
Yeah.
And I wish I could always forget about it.
Now it is time to rank the MCU and the MU, whatever the hell you want to call it, MCM. Where would we want to put Elektra? I do want to motion that it is dead last.
Can I hear the final
You
five?
can feel
What's
the
last?
last.
Do we have
Number
anything?
40 is Iron Man 3. Number 41 is Eternals. 42, What If Season 1. 43, Moon Knight. 44, Hulk. 45, Thor. 46, Thor The Dark World. 47, Daredevil 2003, starring Ben Affleck.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, this is-
48, Secret Invasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I think this is better than Secret Invasion.
I don't even think there's a chance that it's better. Secret
And
Invasion.
Here's why.
Go
Because
for
it's
it.
shorter.
I mean, I don't think it's short enough.
Secret
to, like,
Invasion
make up
was
for that.
Secret Invasion was broken. That just
Yeah.
didn't fundamentally work. This movie at least kind of has a beginning, middle, and an end.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Secret Invasion was such. I mean, they're both slogs. I don't even know why I'm bothering. Put it dead last.
But
It
what
doesn't
ab-
matter.
But Secret Invasion had Ben Mendelsohn.
There was some highs.
good
in Secret
impression,
Invasion.
right?
They just
Fucking
fucked
awesome,
up.
bad.
Thank
dude.
you.
Honestly, awesome.
I would go below Secret Invasion.
I put dead last year.
All right, let's go. Dead last. We have a new dead
We have
last.
to do it.
We were this close.
Because again, I do think this is one of the worst movies we ever have had here.
This is one of the worst movies ever made.
Wow.
I'll put it out there. As far
Wow.
of its ilk.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there we go, everybody.
it couldn't
Number
be
49.
cat. Like you couldn't even be a Catwoman.
You
for
couldn't
me.
even be a Catwoman, Jennifer Garner.
Come on.
Hey, don't blame it on
man.
Jennifer
Catwoman
Garner.
had
She's
that
just the star.
incredible basketball scene. Catwoman had awful CG moves and stuff, and this didn't even give us the courtesy of being somewhat entertaining in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Ragu. That's it. Bagu.
I love that.
That's it, Bagu.
Well, everybody, let's keep our fingers crossed that Colin Farrell shows up in just a few short weeks. If Jennifer Garner shows up, that'll be fun. But I don't know. Anyways, let us know in the comments below what you thought of Elektra. Next week, we are taking in review off because it is 4th of July week, so we are going to be off, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.